Yes, sir. It's Yay Not Gaming bringing you a new content series, the Preseason Preview, which I'll be picking a few 2K League teams and going over the thoughts on their key moves over the offseason, which includes draft picks, changes, and also providing some prediction as well, along with some concerns I might have. Everything based on their preseason acquisitions and decisions. If you haven't seen the first episode, it was of Lakers Gaming. There is a link below, and also you can click here on the screen if you want to start here through the playlist. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay locked in your favorite 2K League and Pro-Am content. But for this episode, we're going to get locked in with Hawks Talon GC. Hawks Talon GC, picking up right where they left off from last year. They finished with a record of 7-9, didn't quite make the playoffs, but they did bring back the three-headed monster in BP, Mav, and Lee. BP putting up 26.2 points a game with 7.7 assists. Mav at 16.6 points a game, and then Lee averaging 11 points, about 12 boards, and almost 2.5 blocks per game. So not bad players to bring back. But with their picks here in the Season 4 draft, they selected Seeds at the 11th pick. They took Fakey at the 34th pick. And they selected Mike Swan here at 48. Now I'm going to do a little bit of player review based on the picks that they made. Starting with the 34th pick, and then I'm working my way around. And at 34th, they did take Fakey as their premier power forward. It was one of the best draft moments I've seen in the history of the league with his family coming around him. Thought it was nice to see. He was well respected, or is well respected as one of the best power forwards in the pool. Excited to see how he'll impact the game on defense. I am curious to see what he'll do to separate himself from the other forwards in the league and impact the game on the offensive end to result in more wins in the season. But it should be a good front court duo with Lee guarding the pick and roll, especially with Fakey's uncanny ability to swing and rotate out of the corner. Don't be surprised to see a few big defensive moments on the season. Now, with the 48th pick, they did take Mike Swan. Now, having Swan at lockdown brings a bit more poise and maturity to the locker room. He is a father, keeping a fairly young roster on page. He showed his dedication to the game and moved to the East Coast servers to compete for a few days. Also displayed his worth and raised his stock in the NapX Invitational Tournament, along with playing well in the Combine. And he's been looking good so far in the Team Up League build scrims, and I'm pumped to see what he does with the squad there in Atlanta. Now, with their first round pick, things get a little interesting. They took Seeds with the 11th pick, one of the best point guards in the draft pool. Supreme scoring ability in this isolation and in the PNR. One of the best, if not the best ball handler in the draft. But I do wonder if his game would translate in regards to making reads on the league build against the best defensive players in the world. Now, going based off the talent that they took at the spots that they took him, I'm going to give him a draft grade as a B. Especially with the situation that I'm about to dive in here in a little bit. I think they did a really good job at taking the best available talent for what they wanted, what they needed, and what might fit the system there in Atlanta. Now that we got the grade out the way, I do want to double back on the reason why they took Seeds at point guard so early in the draft. So, like, why would they do that? From what I've heard, there believes to be locker room issues with BP. There's been some conflicts with teammates and coaching staff, off the court antics impacting the team and the organization. Also, there's been some sources saying that he's been put on the trading block and teams are just not biting. So with all that being said, what happens now? Like, what are they going to do? The Seeds take the reins at point guard and they try their best to put the distraction in the back of their minds. Do they console together and try to make the best out of the situation for everyone to be involved in? Or do they neutralize the problem and just ship it out in a trade for a bag of chips and a Snapple? We don't know. With all that being said, I do believe Seeds will have the starting point guard job at the time of the tip-off. I'm not sure what they're going to do exactly, but that would be the best guess. He has been running point guard for the 2K League builds on Team Up. But I do have a few concerns / question marks on how things are going to pan out for the Hawks. Will the distraction in the locker room impact the way they play and kind of put a damper on things? Also, the way C's play is his game going to translate to the 2K League build. He's going to be playing against a lot of the best defenders in the world. And also, who will be the true leader of the team? Does he kind of rise up and take leadership of the team? Is he going to get the keys of the organization and kind of take things over, or would it be somebody, one of the older vets, that's gonna kind of rally guys together? It has to be somebody other than the coach, because once you're in the game, once you put that headset on, it has to be a guy that kind of pulls everything together. So I wonder who's that really going to be. With all that being said, going into this next season, I think with 16 games in the regular season, I think they come out 6-10. And that's me kind of being kind of generous, just based on what's going on in the locker rooms. And unless they they trade the problem away, or they all figure it out together, and they come up with a solution that works out in everybody's favor, it's gonna bring down the morale, and it's gonna impact the game on the floor. So I think best case they might go 8-8, but I think that they might be at 6-10 come 16 games later in the regular season. Now that wraps up this episode of Preseason Preview. I appreciate all of those who chose to watch to the end. Don't be afraid to let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to lock into more 2K League and Pro-Am content. I also drop some of my socials below the video if you wish to follow me as well. Click on the links on the screen to enjoy the other Preseason Preview episodes, watch Pro-Am matchups, or enjoy some of the music I've released. Till next time, take care and stay safe. Yes, sir.